Thanks for staying with us. You're still live with us on News Central now. Now to more stories. Recall that we did mention that the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, NAMA, has announced that they're suspending the earlier announced 800% increase in navigation charges in response to the directive that was given by the Minister of Aviation and, of course, Aerospace Development. Olumide Ohunayo, the General Secretary, Aviation Safety Roundtable, is joining me now on News Central to discuss this development. Thank you so much, Olumide, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon.
My pleasure. Good afternoon to you too. Now, Olumide, I would like to know, do you think that this suspension of the fee increase would affect Nigerian consumers as much?
Well, if that had been implemented, definitely it would affect the fare price, the ticket fare, and once that fare goes up, then you would expect a drop in passengers. And that will not be only the consumers, the airlines and all the agencies would also have to go through the rigors of losing revenue. Then the entire value chain, those who have shops within the airports, those who provide the taxis, travel agents, all will be affected by that astronomical increase in fare, because 800% is so high. Again, I would not be in the group to clap for the minister, because presently each of the agencies under their act are supposed to have a board. In the absence of a board, the honorable minister, the permanent secretary, and the CEO of that organization becomes the board. And to take a decision concerning 800 to increase charges to about 800% must have had the approval of the board. So what was the board looking at when they went ahead to make that hike without engaging stakeholders, which is what is obtainable, which is what is the norm and accepted by ICAO and all other relevant international aviation organizations, which states that you must engage all other stakeholders to come to an agreement, and after coming to an agreement, then the regulator will not come in and to mediate and see that both parts have agreed to the hike. But unfortunately, the management of NAMA went ahead without liaising with their customers, without discussing with those who they provide services to, and wanted to just dump it on the country at the time when the country is under the stress. I'm sure maybe the protest was part of the reason why they quickly had to do that decision. I think it wasn't fair, and the hike was so extreme.
Now, Olumide, you would agree with me that we cannot overemphasize the economic pressures that is faced by the aviation industry, exacerbated by global economic volatility, fuel price hikes, and of course, currency instability. How are players navigating this challenging time?
Well, we're forced to deal with it. You know, we're just having this hike in interest rate from the banks. And as I was talking to some of the journalists this morning, I said, don't look at the aviation industry alone. When banks hike their interest rate, it affects all sectors of the economy. And once the economy is stunted, aviation is also stunted. Because it's the economy that stimulates aviation. When the economy is good, passengers have disposable income. Passengers will fly. Corporate air travel will increase. They will ask them. They will send their staff to meetings, to attend conferences. But once the economy is stunted, things are not moving well. The interest rate is high. They cannot invest. Then it affects aviation. Again, on the aviation part, with high interest rates, you can hardly go for new investments. You can hardly send your personnel for quality training outside the country or even within. You can also not invest in or update your equipment and other materials you have based on funding. And funding is critical to companies and every like what happened in every other sector. So also it's in aviation. Now when you create this rate and you kill the small scale enterprises, then you are gradually grinding the economy to a halt. Today, you heard the minister of the MD fund, though it's not news to most industry players, that only out of the 21 airports, only 3 out of those airports are viable. 22 airports, sorry. And if the 3 are viable out of 22, then the one is dealing with about 18 viable airports under our belt. And we just can't continue with this high interest rate forex and expect the economy to grow. we need to work out some things that will make the aviation industry grow. We also need to work out ways to ensure that those airports stand on viable, can become operational, and before we start talking about viability.
Also, looking generally at Nigeria's aviation sector, what would you say are the overarching challenges, especially for the airline operators themselves?
Basically, at the moment, what the airlines are having is the issue of forex. They have the issue of infrastructure, inadequate infrastructure. Then you have the issue of the aviation fuel itself, which is a major cost component, and the continuous big back between the government and Nigerian refiners, which was supposed to be the sucker, but Dangote was the first organization to offer them below 1,000 naira per liter, and now with the no supply of crude, that has made that a bit difficult. So if you can handle the infrastructure, if I handle the interest rates and also the aviation fuel, I think you will have been able to solve about 50 or 60% of the problem of the airlines and then the aviation industry in general.
All right, Olumide Ohunayo, General Secretary, Aviation Safety Roundtable, thank you so much for joining us to discuss the aviation sector. And of course, we're looking forward to seeing how this development plays out. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.